What is going on? All happy St. Patrick's Day. Today, this St. Patrick's Day, I'm wearing my favorite pajamas. I wear these pajamas as often as I can. And they're green. They're just these cute camouflage pajamas. These are awesome. All right, so I know this right now has nothing to do with what we're cooking up, but we are going to cook up some St. Patrick's Day fun. However, I'm not going to use corned beef brisket. I'm just not in the mood for anything that ridiculously salty, but we are going to use cabbage. We're going to pressure cook that cabbage. It's going to be great. It's going to be so fast. Pressure cooking cabbage is ultra quick. It is the ultra quick way to do it up. So one of the benefits is it'll make it kind of soft and give it almost a mashed potato feel, but with cabbage. It's still gonna hold some cabbage shape, but it's just awesome. And then we're gonna use my favorite pork and instead of corned beef, and it's gonna be really good. And then we're gonna actually spice it up. I'm gonna throw some. I gotta put a little hot sauce in it, right? And then and that's gonna be the deal. That is basically, and I'm gonna do one bowl serving. So definitely keep that in mind. I'm gonna cook up enough cabbage probably for 4 or 5, but today we're only going to plate one bowl, and I'm going to use this. You're about to see in a second here how insanely messy the kitchen is right now, because just been shooting all sorts of crazy content, one after another today. Today's been a crazy day, and luckily the cleaning session live stream is not going to happen until after this one is done. So definitely, if you want to see what cleaning supplies I'm going to use to clean up this entire mess, definitely you're going to want to follow so you can hit up the next live stream. So at least, so you can see the cleanup too, because I got some cool cleaning supplies that are coming up on this as well. All right, so let's actually get to it. And let's actually start with... Let me actually now pull up our main ingredient. And that's this puppy. Wait till you see the size of this insane cabbage. Look at the size of this! This is the most insane cabbage ever. All right, so this cabbage is nuts. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna have to peel this puppy. Because it arrived with like some of this going on. I don't like to waste those outer leaves, but when they arrive at my door, kind of dented, this is okay. I don't mind this like cut nonsense. I don't. What I have issue with is this, and that I've got to get rid of. So if I can find the start of that leaf. Yeah, there we go. I just want to lightly peel the start of that leaf. There's more under it. I don't want to waste any, although it is huge. I'm going to have to really cut this up to get to fit in the pot. Honestly, I think the rest of it's pretty good. I think just for maybe safety's sake, I should get rid of that entire outer leaf. Who knows where it's been? Oh, yeah. Jeez. Dirt much? Oh, well, it's fresh. Still got the dirt on it. All right. I think that's pretty good. I don't know what that is. So we're just going to pop that up. First things first, you're going to notice I am on my favorite cutting board. This is my favorite cutting board. It get back to cutting this up. So that is the cutting board I love, and I'm about to switch over now to use my favorite knife. So this knife, I don't know how to pronounce it, Haste, and this knife is the knife of knives. This is my favorite chef's knife in my entire collection, and it's almost due for a sharpening. I've been using it so much lately. It's just such a easy to use knife. I mean, it cuts through everything like butter, and it's a nice size to it, and it's beautiful. I like to display it. I like to display it behind me with another knife. I don't know if you can actually see. Well, I've got that knife rack, but I've got another knife, and this one kind of displays out that way because it's just so pretty. It really is the prettiest. Actual pot. Pot. I got about that much room. So let me. Smaller the better, but I don't want leaves hanging off at this point. No other knife would be able to do this. Look at that. That's amazing. Seriously amazing. This actually might be a good enough segment on its own. Like, do you see that? Like, there was like no sawing or anything. The knife handled this like a champ. I mean, first of all, we got to stop for a second just to take a look at the beauty that is this knife. I mean, come on. It's like one beautiful piece. I mean, is this amazing or what? I mean, seriously, look at the beaut. Oh, there you go. I was going to say, I don't know if with the lighting you can see the matte. It's like super shiny, but yet the handle's got like a nice shiny matte finish to it as well. It does pick up my fingerprints, but it is easy to clean. I just kind of put a little vinegar on it and wipe it off. And I have, you're not supposed to, but I have popped this in the dishwasher. But, a little vinegar soak will disinfect anything that's on it. For something like cutting cabbage, it's not a big deal. I can just rinse it off, throw a little vinegar and wipe it. But for, or dish soap even, and then rinse that off and wipe it. But, if I'm processing meat or something, I really want to disinfect the knife, and that helps a great deal. So, I mean, this is such a great knife. All right, so I think I'm kind of eyeballing this to see what will fit in that pot. So I want small segments, but I don't want the leaves. Ooh, slippery. And I did not cut myself because it was the other side. You saw that. It does hurt a little though, but I did not cut myself at all. All right, and I think this might be too tall. Okay. So now we have our cabbage, and we are going to, we're gonna now grab. I'm gonna now grab the pressure cooker to show you what I've got. So I've got a standard normal pressure cooker. You could use your Instant Pot if you want to. I'm not a big fan actually of Instant Pots. I know it's sacrilege to say, but I like an old-fashioned pressure cooker. And in this pressure cooker, I have, let me pull that up to show you what I've got in here. This is the smaller one, and that is this. This is a game changer for steaming. And I've got maybe an inch of water already in this pressure cooker. Just enough where it's like, not a lot. I might actually add a little more. I want to get it up to where it's not touching the edge of this, but maybe halfway where the little legs are. That's where I want it, because I don't want the cabbage to get boiled. I want it to get steamed and pressurized. So let me quickly grab some water. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And that's ready to go pretty much. I'm going to start loading in the cabbage and trying to arrange it nicely. Let's go with this first. Will this close? This is going to have to sit on the edge. And I might not be able to use this entire cabbage head, but I want to do what I can. Wow, good thing I'm doing a cleaning live stream after this. And it is perfectly okay to keep this part. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, just because it's a little dirty, I might slice a little bit of it off. But that's it. Because even that hard stem is going to get super edible in the pressure cooker. Boy, I cannot fit a lot of cabbage in here. And again, it don't need much. I wonder if I can fit this piece in. Yeah, I think that's good. And this much is just kind of left over, which is not a lot. And I will set this aside while I turn up the pressure cooker. Really should add like a wireless fourth camera under here. So there we go, and I'm turning it on high. And this here's a trick I've got to do every time. And I don't know how your stove is positioned, but I have to go down here and check, because not always is the flame center. You can't tell. You can't tell from other angles. So I kind of want to look on every angle to make sure I'm getting the pot. You know, sometimes the side of your pot burns and it's kind of ridiculous. And I think a lot of that happens is because we're not completely centered on the flame. I want to make sure everything is closed up and I've got it pressure cooking. And so what's going to happen now is the pressure cooker is going to take some time to heat up. And while it's heating up, I'm going to start to hear like a psst, that hissing sound. Now that hissing sound is going to, when that kicks in, that lets me know I want to then look at the clock, and then I'm going to time about 10, sometimes 12. There's cabbage touching the sides of the pressure cooker, so in general, I want to say you almost can't overdo it unless you want it. It may get too mushy. What I don't want is the cabbage touching the sides start to burn, and then that smell of cabbage gets all over the house. Really 10 minutes I've noticed is the sweet spot. 12 sometimes if I want to get it extra soft, especially the stem and whatnot. So really 20 minutes is what you want to do. It's going to take 10 minutes for the pressure cooker to get started, and then another 10 or so to get. And so luckily for me, I've already pre-batched some of this, and we are going to we're gonna pull that out right now. First things first is I gotta put away this cabbage. So make some room. So, but luckily I have pulled out over here. I've pre-done some of this for us. And got it all set to go. So we have got to this. Look at all that cabbage shrapnel. You want to transfer it over to, and I'm not taking it out on the cutting board because the cutting board will get wet, which is okay thanks to these little plastic things that it comes with. But once the cabbage is done with the pressure cooker and you've let it cool off, I would let it cool off for, oh my gosh, I personally give it 30 minutes to cool off because it's still hot. Like, I don't open the lid. Once the pressure cooker's done, I just turn off the flame after 10 to 12 minutes. And then at that point, I walk away and do something else for 20 to 30 minutes and then come back. And then it's cooled down enough where it's still hot. It's still going to be hot even after you've been left it off and on the stove. It's still going to do pressure cooking in there for a long time. And so I actually then, just, at that point, I then take off the lid and then transfer it into a Tupperware like this. Now, this obviously has been in the fridge, so it's cold, but when you do that today, it's going to, or, it's going to still be hot. At the very best, it's going to be very warm. And look how it's just like kind of mushes up. So let me grab the spoon from here that we're using from the earlier segment. And I got to do a lot of dishes because all these segments we're doing. This is that earlier segment on morning caffeine, by the way. I mean, look at this. It just mushes up. to this ridiculously dirty bowl. I'm going to weigh it out. Actually, I need to. Just in that time, the pressure cooker is started. Let's take a look at it. It's just started. So right now, I'm looking at the clock. I'm going to add 10, maybe 12 minutes, and that's when I'm going to shut it off. I'm just starting to hear it hiss. Just when I start to hear it hiss is when I start actually planting that puppy. So now I'm going to grab the next ingredient, which is the main ingredient, and you're not going to believe me. You're not going to believe me. Nobody ever believes me. It is such a time saver, and that's this puppy. That is this canned pork. This canned pork is ingenious. Ingenious. I know it sounds crazy, and I know nobody ever believes me. I know it sounds ridiculous, but canned pork tastes like you slow cooked pork and pressure cooked it at the same time and made carnitas out of them unflavored. Like I can't. It is such a time saving game changer. Here's the best part. You know, when you make pork yourself, it is a huge pain to drain the fat. At least I drain the fat. I know my folks like to leave it in there because they like the taste of it. I drain the fat. So with the can, the fat solidifies on the bottom or on the sides of the can. So it's already separated from the pork. So it's so easy once you open the can to scoop out the pork, and then the fat's already there. And then I further drain it actually after heating it up, and I can just heat it up in the microwave, and then it comes in. Then I can drain it back off into that can and then toss that can. And it's just amazing. And the texture is, it's like the softest pulled pork. You know what it is? It's brisket. It's brisket. So imagine, instead of corned beef brisket today, it is pork brisket. But my secret is we're gonna pull it out of the can. So here's the deal. Let me grab it. So here's what I got left over from that last segment. I don't like to waste the can. My Tola Sazon. Oh my God, is this stuff good, man. It is so the best way I can describe this is if Dorito seasoning didn't have the cheese. So imagine without the cheese taste what Dorito would taste like, and that's what this tastes like. So I pop this. I use so much stuff, and you don't need a lot. It's like a flavor enhancer. I'm seriously, you don't need a lot because we've already salted this. Everything but the bagel is pretty salty. And then what I'm going to do just for myself, I do not recommend this for you. This is just for my own palate. Unless you've got a palate like mine, is I'm going to actually garlic powder. I like to put a layer of garlic powder like a layer. You don't need it because most of the flavor comes in that everything but the bagel seasoning, uh, and then the sazon, the masala. But the I like to add. That's my own deal. And you can, if you want, add black pepper and all that stuff to it. Feel free to ask me cues, tell me what you are, or let me know your thoughts if you've tried any of these ingredients. So absolutely let me know your thoughts on everything going on here. I kind of would like to know, unless you're too busy shopping. But anyway, so we're switching over now to my favorite. I'm going to give this pressure cooker 1 more minute before I shut it off here. This, Valentina, this is not the extra hot one. This is the regular with the yellow label. The extra hot one really adds some super spice. This one is just all flavor. It might be spicy for some of you, but this one. And this is, it's basically got like a curry powder type of taste to it. Now, it's not St. Patrick's Day at all. Right now, you're kind of good to go. And I'm going to have to heat this up in almost every house. This is, and I'm about due for getting a new one because I've really used this like nobody's business. I got to replace the handle and all that, but you know what? I like it. There are newer microwaves that I've tested out, and I just like the control panel, and I'm used to what it means when I hit the 1 and it heats up for 1 minute. And what that's going to do. It doesn't I don't have the problem with this specific microwave that I have with others where it's either too hot or not hot enough, right? So this one's just, it's just more intuitive. One tip I tell you this microwave is don't yank it from the bottom, yank it from the top. But you know, for those of you you already know what you want to pair this with. Go. And then there you have it. Oh, this smells. It's crazy how good that smells. I mean, crazy. Like I said, that cabbage gets a sweetness to it with that hot sauce. It gives it that kind of St. Patrick's Day bitterness that we want without having it taste too vinegary. And it's not overly salty like the corned beef and cabbage type you want. But if you want to mimic that, you may want to put a little more salt in there. But I think we did a great job. And the pork just adds the pork over that mushy cauliflower texture, that mash. Really, man, it's so good. It's like the depth of flavor, kind of sweet, but kind of like vinegary, but garlicky and salty. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And texturally, it's awesome. So there you go. There you have it. All right. So stay tuned because our next segment is going to be about once I actually eat this and enjoy it. We come back and we'll be doing cleanup. So if you're not already following my live streams, definitely go on to either my Amazon storefront or the lives. Hopefully there's something in before, and definitely hit follow so when you're ready to clean, you can see the cleaning supplies and the cleanup that we're about to do here because I got some new cleaning supplies that are just awesome. Really, it's going to be quick. I mean, it's such a mess in the kitchen right now, and I'm going to get it down, including the dishes, and like it's going to be awesome with what we got going on. All right, so I will see you. Happy shopping, and hopefully you can just add everything in there to your cart and sort through it later. This was a nice, easy one. Keep forgetting I had to end the stream from here first. You want me to stay on a little more so you can actually keep going through the carousel? Let me know. Otherwise, I'm ending this now. Very cool. But definitely enjoy this puppy. Start cooking. Happy St. Patrick's Day.